CNN, the most trusted name in news.
Well, one example of outrageous prosecution under our nation's gun laws is the case of David Olofson. Olofson was convicted in federal court of transferring a machine gun. His semi-automatic weapon misfired on a shooting range that he had loaned to another individual. It fired 3 rounds and jammed. The ATF said the misfirings made the rifle, by definition, a machine gun, if you can believe that. Joining me now is Lynn Savage. He's the president of Historic Arms, who testified for David Olofson at trial, and Herb Titus, who is Olofson's attorney. Great to have you both with us. Let me turn, Lynn, to you and ask, how in the world could any jury be persuaded that a 3-round burst from an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle constitutes a machine gun?
Well, it was never tested by the defense. They only got to see the evidence that the government put forth.
They only saw the evidence. Well, where the heck was his defense attorney?
You'd have to ask them, Lou. They were the Federal Defender Services out of Wisconsin.
Herb Titus, what's going on here? Why are we dancing this? I mean, this is outrageous on its face. Give us some insight into this.
Well, it is outrageous. The definition of a machine gun that was used in the prosecution of Olofson is directly contrary to the ATF's own definition of a machine gun and contrary to the United States Supreme Court's definition. I believe what happened in that case is the prosecutor kept saying that a machine gun was a gun that fired more than 2 shots by a single pull of the trigger, and he kept repeating it, and that's as far as it went.
This is just a calamity as far as the rights of David Olofson are concerned. Why, and I want to go to you, Lynn, in just a moment, but I've got to ask you this, Herb. I mean, why in the world is no one standing up in that community in Wisconsin, in that state government? Why in the world is no one standing up for this man's rights? I mean, he has been trampled on. His rights have been trampled on. What in the world is going on?
I think people in America are really afraid when it comes to firearms. We've forgotten the historic reason why the Second Amendment is in the Constitution of the United States. People are afraid to affirm that firearms are absolutely essential for the cause of liberty.
Well, that's a highfalutin expression that I happen to agree with, but that doesn't explain to me why the folks in Wisconsin are letting one of their citizens be just absolutely devastated this way, and his rights trampled.
Well, I tell you, Lou, what you see in America today are people who don't understand the significance of the constitutional guarantee of the right to keep and bear arms.
So what you're really saying is Americans, I mean, this is almost an Eric Holder statement. What you're really saying is Americans were too stupid to preserve the republic.
Well, look at who's the Attorney General of the United States. He doesn't believe that the Second Amendment gives us a right to keep and bear arms. And if the Attorney General doesn't think that, what do you think the ordinary people think?
Yeah, Len, let me turn to you. In your testimony, you were critical of the ATF here, and we have been reporting on this, as you know, from the outset. You say they're retaliating against you now because you testified against the ATF. Have you heard anything that would suggest they're changing their attitude toward you? What happens next?
Well, all I know is my firearm was arrested a couple of weeks ago and is now facing trial.
Your firearm was arrested? Oh, what? You got to be kidding! They didn't arrest you.
No,
they arrested
sir,
your firearm
correct.
that you designed.
They arrested the firearm. They issued an arrest warrant and took it into federal custody.
Well, just when you think the alcohol, tobacco, and firearms folks don't have a sense of humor, obviously they do. What's the point of having done that?
They're seeking its condemnation.
Are you about ready to... I don't know. I don't know how you preserve either your sense of humor or your sense of perspective on this one. Do you have attorneys representing you here? Well,
yes, I do. They're looking out after the firearm.
All right. Well, we appreciate you being with us. It gets better and better, doesn't it? Lynn Savage, thank you for being with us. Herb Titus, thank you.